Yo, what's up guys, Jack here, and today something very cool for you. I recently got the opportunity to attend an event in the UK and check out the multiplayer component of the new Doom game, and it's time to take a trip to hell, kill some demons and see if we can make it out the other side. So what's it all about then? Well, if you've been keeping up with the Doom news, you'll see that the new game is trying to hark back to the old days of Doom. So that means fast paced non-stop action. It's something that you can see in the campaign trailers and something they're definitely carrying across to the multiplayer as well. So the footage you're seeing here is gameplay that I've recorded. I got to play two different game modes. One was simple team deathmatch, which doesn't really need much explaining, and the other was a game mode called Warpath. In Warpath, both teams are trying to fight it out over one control point that's constantly moving around the map. Think King of the Hill if the hill was constantly moving. It can get really messy when most of the team are all trying to duke it out over one point, especially if one team has control of one of the demons. Yes, demons. I'll be getting into that later. But what of the guns, Jack? What of the guns? Well, of course, it's Doom. The guns have got to be pretty awesome, right? Well, in the build I played, we got to sample the rocket launcher, the plasma rifle, the super shotgun, which is just insane, by the way. It's got a load of spread, so even if you don't hit your target dead on, it's still going to do a lot of damage. The heavy assault rifle, the vortex rifle, the lightning gun, and the static rifle. All in all here, we've got sniper rifles, shotguns, rocket launchers, and your classic assault rifles. A good combination of weapons. Each weapon also has a secondary fire as well, so there's a good amount of technique involved in learning how best to use each weapon. The rocket launcher, for instance, has a secondary function where you can instantly explode any rockets that are currently in flight. So say for example you just miss your shot but the rocket just passes by the intended target, you can, if you're quick enough, actually detonate it and get that kill. You also get equipment that you can use. We had a grenade, a personal teleporter and a siphon grenade to choose from. Grenade is pretty self-explanatory, and the personal teleporter is a device you throw down using the grenade key, and when you press that key again you teleport to wherever you put the device down. You'll recognise this from other arena shooters in the past. Really good for confusing enemies if they get behind you. It can be used pretty tactically as well to get to certain areas fast. There's also a solid amount of trolling that can be done with it too, trust me, and I look forward to see exactly what sort of devious traps they can come up with here. Now with the siphon grenade, you throw it down and it creates an AoE area where any enemy caught in it gets their health siphoned off them and given back to you. Lovely. So in terms of kits, before the game starts you pick a loadout that you want, consisting of 2 weapons, a piece of equipment and a demon. Again, I'll get onto the demons in just a second. When you start out there are some default loadouts you can pick from, and then you can start building your own custom loadouts as you progress through the game. Depending on the map you're playing, you might want to use a sniper rifle and a shotgun for close range. That's a nice combo, or maybe change it up for a closer range map. Once in the game you can change to one of your preset loadouts if you need to. Now what of this demon that you've heard so much about? Well, each map has a demon rune that spawns in partway through the map. If you can get hold of it, you become the demon, and my god, it's pretty satisfying. The demon you become is the one you picked at the start of the game, so again, the demon you pick really will depend on the map that you're playing. In this build we only had access to the Revenant, a demon that can hover and happens to have a rocket launcher attached to his shoulders. Not someone to be trifled with. The map also has a good amount of verticality, so the Revenant works really well here. I know from the trailers though, and from asking at the event, that numerous other demons you can pick from, and the Baron of Hell is another one that you'll be able to use on launch. The demons are a load of fun. I tried to get a hold of the rune as much as I could. You've got a minute to use them, unless you're killed sooner of course, in which case another player can pick up the rune and take over the demon for the rest of the time. You do have a lot of health to begin with, but not so much that you can withstand some well placed shots from multiple players. It also really helps if you know the map and the rune location, so you can plan to be in that area when it's about to spawn. Map control is very important here. I found there were some real tense battles just to try and stay alive around the rune so you could grab it. I have to say as well, the maps themselves also seem to be very well made. We got to play two, as I said, one hell map called Infernal and an industrial map based around a UAC mining facility called Heatwave. Visually they were great and they both have a lot of verticality to them as well. Expect jump pads to get to higher levels as well as teleporters to move around the map smoothly. Infernal had a real arena shooter vibe to it, with a highly contested central area and pathways leading all around the rest of the map. It was a modest size, but considering this game is a 6 vs 6 shooter, it never felt too small. Heatwave was a bit bigger and the combat was a lot more spread out. And that gets me nicely onto the movement. The movement feels really fluid, as you would expect from a game that wants to be very fast paced. Each player can double jump, so timing your second jump can be really important to get to certain areas for pickups. You can also grab onto ledges that you've just about reached to pull yourself up. Oh, and just in the interest of not slowing the gameplay, there are no reloads. Your guns reload automatically, but despite this, I still found myself hitting R constantly, a bad habit I guess. I mentioned pickups before, and they are extremely important in this game, much like in any other arena shooter. Health does not regenerate. You've got to go around the map and pick up health, armor and extra ammo for your guns. This is where a lot of the skill and movement comes in, learning the map and remembering where the pickups are and using them to your advantage. You can help yourself out in this area with a feature called hack modules. Essentially these are a bit like burn cards or perks, I suppose. They're little modules that you earn from playing the game. Then you can equip them and use them after you've died. Some of them might show you where your killer is on the map for a certain amount of time after you spawn in, and others might show you exactly where the pickups on the level are. There are loads to choose from, and we only got to sample a few at the event. Customization is also here aplenty. You can customize both your weapons and your player character. Weapon customization in the build I played was reasonably limited. You can pick from a few set patterns, more of which I expect will unlock as you play the game via the progression system, and then a primary and secondary colour. In terms of character customization, you can visually change each part of your armor from the helmet to each arm, leg and chest piece, and then you can go in and change the primary and secondary colors as well as setting how worn or weathered you want it to look by applying the dirts and scratches. Throw on one of the set patterns and you're going to end up with a system that does allow players to look very different when you're in the game. Also, don't forget to equip your taunts for when you get those epic kills. You can equip 4 and they're bound to the arrow keys on console and PC, and some of them are pretty funny. I don't want to spoil them for you. Now I've left the coolest part right to the end, glory kills. These are really awesome melee kills that you can do to players when they reach a certain health. I had quite a few painful ones executed on me, more than I'd like to admit, but I had to throw down plenty of my own as well. Snapping necks, breaking limbs, they are messy and pretty much what Doom is all about. What's good is that they don't break up the speed of the game as they happen really fast. So it works like this: if an enemy gets low enough that a takedown can be performed, they're going to glow almost yellow gold, and then you can go in for the kill and perform the glory. Overall, with the time I spent playing the game at this particular event, I was pretty impressed with how the game played. It's a really frantic, fast-paced arena game, and console players and PC players alike, I'm sure we're going to find something here to keep their attention. Couple that with the snap map tool, which is kind of like a level editor you can use to create new maps and game modes, then hopefully this is going to be a pretty solid game to look forward to when it launches in May. Keep your eyes on the channel for more impressions in the future. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the footage in the background there. Like I said, it is action-packed and very fast-paced, a lot of fun to play. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now you've seen some actual gameplay, what do you think of this Doom reboot? Is it looking good, bad, kind of in the middle? Let's have your say. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, that would be awesome. Thumbs down if you didn't enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one.